Flowers by the Sea by William Carlos Williams. When over the flowery sharp pasture's edge, unseen, the salt ocean lifts its form, chicory and daisies, tied, released, seem hardly flowers alone, but color in the movement, or the shape, perhaps, of restless, whereas the sea is circled and sways peacefully upon its plinth-like stem.
When I first read this poem, I realized the comparison between the chicory flowers and the calming sea. The sea provides a balance for the author that he doesn't experience with the chicory flowers. This calmness between the sea and the flowers is one that I share in my own personal experience.
I chose this setting because it best emphasized the setting that Williams had in his poem. This setting is a calmful, peaceful place if you come down here. The nature, the wind, the wildlife, and the water all help to create the type of calmness that Williams experienced in his poem. I chose this place because it helps best describe the type of place that I feel my calmness. When I read this poem, it reminded me of the memories I had with my grandfather. When I was younger, my grandfather and I would go out on his boat. Together, the two of us would spend time all day just sitting on the boat. My grandfather was a man of very few words. He didn't say much, but when he did, he meant it. I remember my grandfather and I on the water the day before he died. That day was very peaceful, and that's why I like this poem. Much like in the poem by Williams, the flowers floating in the sea remind me of my grandfather. He was a fisherman on the Chesapeake Bay, and a common practice with fishermen was to spread their ashes over the part of the sea that they spent the most time on. The images of the flowers floating in the sea remind me of the peace that my grandfather must have felt when we spread his ashes over the water. Although it was a very sad time for me, I was calm because I knew he was happy. The flowers cast off into the sea remind me of my grandfather becoming part of something bigger. That will always have an everlasting effect on me.